Parents' feedback is very important for the continuous assessment of the children's learning in FLN. First of all, we need to orient the parents in FLN, and secondly, we need to engage them as resource. Let us know how. We have two parents with us, Mrs. Mamta Yadav and Mrs. Priyanka Tomar. Let us ask them what they are doing and how they are doing. Actually, how do they observe their children's progress and learning in FLN? I mean, how do they observe whether their children learning or not? Let's begin with Mrs. Yadav.
Yes, ma'am. We also provide storybooks, puzzles and some math games like Ludo.
Okay.
But I also want to know such more games so that their reading skills and maths skills become better. Actually, I want to know some specific activities for FLN, and please explain what do you mean by observing the children's learning.
Right, surely. First of all, I think my question goes to Mrs. Tomar. The same question.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I also try but don't know how to guide my child. He loves to play. He never used to go for counting. So, ma'am, please let me know how to do, what kind of activities I can do at home.
Yeah, sure. I think both of you raised a very good questions. I think first of all, I would just want to convey that do not pressurize your children, by giving lot of activity. Make and provide such activities that the children enjoy and do not bore them. For example, try to involve your children in making DIY toys. I hope you are aware of DIY toys. DIY toys is do-it-yourself toys. So, when you create such toys using waste materials or low-cost materials that you can easily get at your home, like for example, cutting the pictures from the magazines and making them as puzzles. Similarly, collect the bottle caps and use them as counters even when you are playing the Ludo, and encourage your children to count the bottle caps. You can write letters on the bottle caps and let them match the letters.
Right.
They can look at the calendars. So, try to create homemade toys. First of all, they feel very, very happy that they have created the toys, and try to link those toys with FLN. So, I hope I have given you a lot of hints.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
My son is then counting the cars, their toys. Either they have puzzles, some toy cars. They used to count them. But the thing is that he only wants to listen a story every day.
I think
Yes.
listening to story is a wonderful idea. I feel that if your child is interested in reading, it means that he is moving towards reading. This is taking him towards the path of reading. Yes. So, storytelling is the best part and the first part or the first path towards reading. Like storytelling will help your child to learn so many things. For example, he can learn new vocabulary. And he must be asking you new words like, Mama, what is the meaning of this word and all.
Yeah,
so, it means that he is interested towards reading. Secondly, he is also learning the sounds of different words. He is getting aware that these are the words and these are the sentences.
Yes, yes.
And I think similarly, you should make your children interested in foundational numeracy as well. So, you can do this activity of how many. How many is a beautiful activity for foundational numeracy. Like you encourage the children to count and say how many. How many will also lead them to addition. For mastery in counting. Similarly, one-to-one correspondence, like both of you have asked, like how to observe, and like how do you know whether the children are progressing in literacy and numeracy or not. So, if you take the example of one-to-one correspondence, when the children are counting, so when they are putting their finger on each object, just observe whether they are touching each object and counting each object, or they are skipping the object.
Okay.
So, sometimes you find that the children are skipping the object and saying the number.
Right.
So, it means that they are not become proficient in counting.
Okay. They have to touch the object.
They have to touch. So, these are the simple strategies for observing children's progress, you know, like whether we say it is a foundational literacy, whether it is a foundational numeracy. Similarly, you can do for print, you know, like when they are moving their finger beneath the print, you just see whether they are moving it from left to right. Can they identify which is a word? Like you can ask, show me a word rat, show me a word cat. So, can they identify that word,
the words here.
right?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
they can understand that what are letters, what are words and what are
Alphabet.
sentences.
Okay.
Do you still have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. I also sometimes tell my daughter bedtime stories, and I observe that she gets attracted towards reading. And I have seen she learn new vocabulary, new words. Sometimes I also get surprised.
Yeah, I think both of you are doing wonderful activities and you should continue doing such activity, because bedtime story, I think this is a must activity which all the parents should do at home, because bedtime stories make the children calm and soothe. And you already said that they are learning new vocabulary,
yes.
they learn the sounds of the words, they learn the sound of the letters and they get exposed to print.
Yeah, they add vocabulary.
So, all the best to both of you, and I think parents should continue do all such foundational literacy and numeracy activities at home, and also keep a good watch how their children are progressing in foundational literacy and numeracy.